Come on tight. Yeah. Okay, we are getting rid of Meatloaf and we're headed into Your City, Your Voice. My name is Paul K. Lemire. I am here with my cohort, Dave Wheeler, and we are taking a look at the city council
from the cohort
today. My coyote. Yeah, we're going to be taking that to the city, look at the city council agenda here on 4680Q Radio at noon. Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario. We got a lot to get through, so we're going to be Speedy Gonzalezing this thing today. But we're going to get through it, and we're going to take care of the important points. So when you watch the show today at 4 o'clock, you'll know what's going on, and that's the object of this. So we all know what's going on. I'm just going to keep looking at the mics to make sure everything's working. We don't want to miss a thing. First, I have to talk about my sponsors, Hamilton Glowstone Lighting, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, and Victoria Avenue Pete's Pizza, a new sponsor. We'll be talking about them later on. Right now, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. Yeah, Wild Bill is downtown today. If you want to meet Wild Bill, Ken Hunter, come downtown. They got the Super Q Cruise today. It's the last cruise night of the year, and they're having it on Queen Street. Everybody's down here. Wander down, you see Ken, and he'll tell you all about cars because he knows all about it. You take your car to his repair shop, you're going to have it put on the latest diagnostic equipment. He's going to tell you exactly right what's wrong and fix it. It's that time of year where you want to get these things done. So where do you want to go? Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. If you get in an accident, of course, he's going to take care of that too. He has a full body shop. Get you out of the shop looking like your car just came out of a showroom. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Oakwood Drive, next to the Kia dealership. Support our sponsors, and we thank Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop for sponsoring our show. So, Dave, to the agenda.
Indeed. I should explain for anyone who wants to know, I'm wearing these sunglasses because of sun reflections off windshields and chrome over there. So I'll be putting them on and off.
That's all right.
It's not a fashion statement.
Well, it's funny because when Pete Dichter comes in, he wears the sunglasses too, right?
Oh, he does, yeah.
Well, because there is a glare.
I hear those shows, but I don't see them because I listen to them on the radio, but I don't see them on. I've only seen a couple of your shows on YouTube.
Yeah, and that glare does come in, and it's pretty substantial. You look there and then look down, and it's hard to focus because of the light. Mm-hmm. Anyway, call to order. We're going to get this meeting going with "Oh Canada" sung by Heidi Joshua. Congratulations, Heidi. It's always tough to get up and sing in front of a crowd, and a big hand before you even do it. I know you're going to do a great job. And then we have land acknowledgement and traditional and indigenous meeting opening. There's usually a video of a Métis leader or an indigenous leader just talking about the land and that kind of thing. And they adopt the minutes of the last meeting and disclosures of pecuniary interest, any conflicts of interest that have to do with dollars and cents, or making a decision on anything else that's a conflict is declared right there. The mayor gets up, gives his reports and announcements. And usually the big show, Mayor Jim, the ringmaster of the circus in Niagara Falls, he gets up and talks about different things and announces different
P.T. Barnum Day Daddy.
Yeah, announces different events. There's a sucker born every minute. There is. And then we have deputations and presentations. Fire Chief Coyne presentation, Welland River Water Rescue. Fire Chief Joe Zambito is going to recognize 3 people for being involved in rescue efforts of the Welland River earlier this summer. Good for them.
Good job.
And this is the kind of stuff that I think to save time on city council meetings so they don't extend 9 hours like last one, 9.5 hours, that they should do outside of a city council meeting, do the presentations. The people deserve it. They deserve the recognition, but maybe not at city council, in another form of award ceremony at the Gale Center, McBain Center, or even City Hall.
Well, they should have a devoted. They should have a devoted aspect, a show for that. I mean, when I went to get my volunteer award, it was at Fireman's Park, and it was not at a city council meeting. I'm sure if it was, it would have really bogged down things. So there's an example right there. They do it for the volunteers of the city awards. They could do that.
Yeah, and a lot of times if they have a hockey team there's like maybe 12 or 15 people that are getting awards, and that itself takes a ton of time. And city council meetings to me are for business, city business. It's a business meeting, not a tea social, not an award ceremony. It's a business meeting. So you want to cut time out, cut this out, and do the presentations in another venue or at City Hall in another day, a separate afternoon. Hey, you can tape it and you can present it on Cogeco or present it on the NiagaraFalls.ca webpage. Do the same thing, but only outside of a meeting so that everybody can get through this meeting without being beat by the end of it by 8 hours of nonsense. So,
yeah, the counselors can, look good by being there and participating, and they don't have to say anything consequential. They just kind of be in the public eye. That should suit their purpose.
And congratulate everybody. And some people work, some counselors do work. And so that's fine. They can do it after at 6:00 one night for an hour and a half. Come down, get some awards, have some pizza and beer, and call it a day. 5.2, a performing request. Andrea Giacometti was going to talk about trees on private property. She was going to speak last meeting. It was put off till this meeting. She was going to speak tonight. And it's around trees on private property. Her concerns about taking trees down on private property and that. So we'll see exactly what she has to say tonight. She was going to be on the last agenda, but it was moved to tonight.
Yeah, she's not happy. She says says I would like to have my concerns submitted to the council's consideration. Considering my concerns to become just comments, and I would actually prefer to be a part of the next council meeting in person. So
we got to get you speaking into this mic here.
Okay, and that mic, all right.
That's where the action.
It might cover up this beautiful work of nature, though.
I don't know. It's got you from here up.
Oh, okay. You got the best part. Yeah.
You don't have that Kirk Douglas chin. And I have no chin.
Dudley Do-Right one.
And I have no chin. So then we move on to planning matters. And there's a couple of good planning matters here. 6.1 is 4th Avenue. Now, they talked about that at a meeting in March, and they approved a 72 townhouse development there. But I've got a feeling they're back because they want some variations on the build. And I think what happened is they went in there and they couldn't fit what they were going to build in without some variances as far as setbacks and that kind of thing. So parking and landscaping. So they want some amendments or relief from some of these bylaws that you have to go by when you build setbacks and stuff. And that's why they're back. That's what I think. And that's because of the R5 zoning requirements. They need specific things and they need some variances from that. So they're back asking for that. It's been okayed by staff, but I do have some concerns. Davey, is that what you take this to be? Because they were here already once.
Yeah, they were. And what I don't like about it, well, it's on the old ball court, right? So
it's at the old ball hockey on 4th Avenue.
Yeah, but one thing they have to have, they're going to have to get they want to go from 72 dwelling units to 100. They want to be 5 stacked, so they're trying to concentrate it.
Are you sure they're going for more? I thought they were still at 72, but they were just looking for.
Well, they wanted 72. Okay, but they wanted to put that in a smaller space, I believe.
Well, that's what I think. I think that's what happened there, and they're looking for less parking spaces than that.
Yes, less parking spaces and less amenity room. And it says here that they have to have the record of site, the environmental condition of property with a QP, which just means qualified person, needed to convert industrial to residential. Ministry of Environment will kick in there. Environmental site assessment, soil and ground and water contamination. I think that was the big issue last time. And they reduced the parking spaces from 101 to 90.
Yes.
Minimum landscape from 40% to 21.2 square, and amenity space from 20 square meters to 14.8 square meters. That means they can make the places that you live in smaller. This I think is an indication of our times, because this is really just a voice that says, guess what, Mr. Average and Mrs. Average, you're going to have to deal with less for more. And the city is going to okay this. I don't think in more prosperous times they would even come close to approving that. Yeah, but because of the need for dwellings, they're going to say, okay, you can have 90 instead of 101 parking spaces. You can have 20% instead of 40% landscaping, and you can have a much smaller unit. An increase from 75 to 100 per per hectare. That's what they're looking for, 75 to 100 per hectare.
Yeah, and I've got three concerns about this that everybody should be looking at. Number one, they're building it on contaminated land. And they said they want to have basements, which of course automatically raises warning bells regarding contamination seepage into the residents whenever we get heavy rains and that. So that's one of my concerns, that they remediate this property to the full extent. They got to clean it up before they can put people in there. Number two, CN and Metrolinx problems in the future. They're close to rail corridor, which could be a problem in the future. Documents have to be signed by future owners to acknowledge the fact they're going into a railway corridor because of noise, because of diesel fumes and dust and sparks, whatever the hell else comes off the trains.
Possible accidents too, like what happens, like hazardous material exploding.
And the third concern I always have, and what most people have that are watching this all the time, is traffic. I mean, you've got 4th Avenue, which is basically a 2-car road going into the Gale Center and going right by here. You've got to build on the other side of the road of 100 units. Now you're going to have another 72 there with increased traffic, and there's no outlet other than going to Bridge Street down 4th Avenue. So I think what they have to do is they're going to have to extend 4th Avenue right to Thoroldstone Road, because you can't use the Gale Center as a shortcut. I mean, can you imagine? Kids are walking around their hockey equipment and the cars are going to be using the Gale Center as like a main road. It just doesn't work. So they're gonna have to extend 4th Avenue through to Thoroldstone Road. I think that's the proper way to do this. And so they have 2 outlets, because, I mean, there could be another 150 cars a day. They're saying they're going to have 90 parking spaces, but a lot of families have 2 cars.
Yes, indeed. And really, that's limiting the amount of people who can live there. We do know that families are piling up. You got the boomerang kids, the future prosperity of Canada is really quite in doubt now. So, where is the kids going to live? And in the suburbs, you see huge driveways being built full of cars now. Well, that's all boomerang kids coming home.
Yeah.
Well, what is somebody in a place like this going to do if they have to accommodate another family member? You need a car. You cannot live on public transport in this city.
They'll be parking at the Gale Center. That's what they're going to be parking. But you still need outlets for traffic. And for all these places, plus the residents there, plus people do use 4th Avenue for the Gale Center, for all that to go on, that street is going to be overwhelmed with traffic. So they're going to have another outlet. And I suggest that they tap into the Capital Reserve to build that road straight through, or get the region to do it, to Thoroldstone Road for an outlet. And I think you'll see that come up at the meeting tonight, Dave.
Transfers of assets.
All the 80 million we have, and we've been talking about that for months. But I think that's the only hot spots there where we're going to see them discuss it. And I'm sure, I don't know about the other councilors, but I'm sure Lori Lococo will get up and mention some of this stuff, because they've been mentioned before.
Well, if Mike Cushman goes there, look out.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's the one who's talking about that. Him and Gary Wilkins, both of them.
Oh, the green bastard from Parts Unknown, yes. And Metaphysical Mike. What a tag team those guys are.
Yes.
I put them against the whole council any day.
So 6.2, we're going to move on. 6.2 is a development at the corner of Ferry and Clark Street. And there's 2 old motels down there. They're tearing them down. They're going to put up a couple 30-story towers, which to me is fantastic, because that is a perfect location for it. That's what's around it, hotels and that kind of thing. And really, those motels kind of got a little bit decrepit, so now they're going to build up, and it fits. It's going to be taller than any surrounding buildings, but that's fine. I mean, we're in the tourist area, and that tall buildings are fine. The kicker to me in the question, I don't know how they're going to. It always is this developer going to actually do it? It's great to okay these. City staff approved it. Council's going to approve it. We know that. But when?
I don't know. It's just like the last development on 4th Avenue we were talking about. I don't know if we mentioned there was a sunset clause on it.
Yes.
That means you got to start putting a shovel in the ground within 3 years. And they're going to, if they don't, they're going to extend, apply for an extension. And this one too. I don't know. It depends on the demand for hotel rooms. I mean, with more refugees in town, maybe they need more.
Yeah, exactly. They're taking up some of the ones. So, but I think it's a great proposal, great project. It looks good. It looks nice. They look like they're going to do it right. So I would say saying yes to it makes perfect sense. But my question now is how many of these do we have on the books ready to go now when and nothing's being developed? So we have to find a way as a city to force their hand. I mean, maybe a 3 year sunset clause is too much. We got to have a 48-month or something like that, or whatever the city deems reasonable. Because 3 years, the one went into receivership before the 3 years was up.
Yes,
the one by Dairy Queen there. So,
well, yeah, there have to be some more teeth on this, of course. And my problem, of course, is as soon as I saw that, I said, okay, yeah, good place for it, but traffic.
Oh yeah.
Now the good thing is they say they're going to be able to create over 500 jobs. Well, for who? They're going to be, immigrants, temporary workforce from overseas, or they're going to be Canadians. That's another thing I'd like to hear, because I have a feeling there's a tendency towards this to hire students and other things and other individuals that you can pay cheaper and kind of look the other way on some of their paperwork.
Well, that's service industry, right? That's what they do.
Yeah. So if they have 500 genuine jobs, that would be very good.
Yeah, that would be
and they're going to be low-paying jobs, though, which brings us back to housing again. But I won't recycle it this time.
Okay, over to number 7.1 in-camera resolution. Bye-bye. We get to see council wave by and go in for pizza and wings and do something top secret, and they're usually in there for an hour and a half. So that session there, you can go have supper, you can go do whatever you got to do. They won't be back till 6 o'clock, 6:30, who knows when, depending on how long it takes to get through the planning matters is when they go in. So you got a good break there to do whatever you got to do. And
I did tell you about the dartboard with your likeness on it.
Oh, they probably have that. Yeah. Pin the tail on the Tasmanian. Number 8, reports. Downtown Committee. That council approved the terms of reference for the Downtown Committee. Now, I think this was put forward by Councilor Nincompoop, and that was a motion made to get a downtown committee going. So they're going to have a downtown committee with 11 members and 1 from council, 9 commercial property owners, and of course the ringmaster, Mayor Jim, to be formed this committee. And it was approved by council. Now they're starting to put it together, although members have not been selected yet. So I don't know. They had a BIA here, and they got rid of that. Now there's $145,000. They don't know if that's going to be enough to run this thing, although they do have funds from the levy that they used to use for the BIA. So I'm not sure what they need funds for to put this together. Isn't it like volunteers on this committee? They're not paying anybody.
I'm not so sure, but it is obviously an attempt to make a stopgap measure between now and when the BIA can get itself together. The BIA was massively dysfunctional, as we kept reporting.
Yeah.
And you did. And it just didn't work. The personalities were just abrasive to one another. They threw out Wayne Campbell when he tried to help them out. Now, he was a pretty nice guy, And so I think this is a stopgap measure to make sure that downtown has some sort of representation. It's supposed to be stopgap, 2 years, I suppose. It's supposed to be, I don't know. And it's made up of appointed members. Now, not elected, appointed members of the businesses and that of downtown. 1 councillor, Jim, the ringmaster, with his bullwhip.
Yep.
And so they try to keep them aligned, try to keep them cooperating, and have representation for downtown for the typical things that BIA would do. I don't know in any short term if a BIA will be formed to replace this, but I don't know. This is just an extra burden for city, I think, and the faster they can dispose of it, the better. This is something they shouldn't be delving into in this way, being the administrators of something that should be administered on its own.
Oh, by the
elected
people who have
members.
a business down here, who have a vested interest in the downtown.
Yes, indeed. Yeah.
So I would say Lori LaCouncil. Lori LaCoco. That's what I should call her, Lori LaCouncil.
Yeah, Lori LaCouncil.
Yeah, Lori LaCouncil. But she's from downtown, so she may be the one to go on it. But I think that the one that suggested it should be on there. She had the great ideas about it. Mona Patel. She came up with it. She made a motion for it. She had the idea of doing this, and she told us why she thought it would be great. So why wouldn't she be the one on there from City Council? I think that makes sense.
That's great.
So there you
That's
go.
a fine way.
I'm nominating her right away.
Yeah, and I don't know how this fits into her plan to find $1 million to cut, because this will probably just add more.
Well, you think it was screwed up before? And you know what gets me is that there's other BIAs in the city, down at Center Street and Lundy's Lane and Fallsview. They all work flawlessly, seamlessly. So why wouldn't they call in maybe a former chair of one of those BIAs and say, listen, why don't you come down and show these guys how to run a BIA? I mean, they know how to do it. They've done it, and they always balance their books. They're always like right on the money. City council goes like this, reads the report. Okay, great, everything's good. Way to go, you guys. And even Councilor Newestate. I mean, she was probably part of the one on Main Street because she was involved in a lot of things that went on Main Street, especially when they were revitalizing it. She may be a good one to be on there, but I don't understand why they don't reach out to them and find out how they're running it and why they're running it so smoothly and everything works so well, as opposed to this cluster. Cluster downtown.
Well, I don't know. I think they're just kind of fed up with all the different incarnations of the BIA and how dysfunctional it was, and I just figured that they just got fed up and and dropped the bomb and said that's it. So.
I think so. So item 8.1, we move past item 8.2, FIFA waiver applications. Basically, there's a couple of things going on. Halloween on Queen they want to run, and the people who are running it want to get $850, I think, to run it. And then there's a Victim Services Niagara Police versus Fire Charity softball game. They want to waive some costs.
Yeah, these are waives. They're not. They just ask that they don't have to pay them.
Yeah.
And of course, there's nothing coming out of the city coffers on this.
Nope.
Except whatever it costs them to put up barriers and stuff like that, which would be marginal. And so basically they're just asking for this. And I think probably they'll get the green light on this because anything that, stimulates community involvement of one kind or another, I think is generally looked upon well, and it's minor amounts of money.
Yeah, and I like it because, we're looking for events downtown to help downtown. A Halloween event would be fantastic, and Ronnie Don is involved with it, and somebody else too. So
maybe we can have the new Queen Street Committee down here.
Yeah.
We can invite them.
Yeah, but I think they'll be waived, no problem. 8.3, council meeting schedule for 2025. There's 3 more meetings. There's 3 more meetings than there were in 2024 schedule. So they're having a few more meetings, which to me, 3 meetings is nothing. They need more meetings if they're going to keep these 9-hour meetings going, and they're not going to trim the fat off the existing schedules. And 3 isn't going to be the number.
Yeah, 3 is the loneliest number, but it is a good idea, a very good idea and it's just like you said, it's just pretty much accounting for the times. And there's just more and more stuff. The city's getting bigger and bigger. You can't do it.
So just organically,
yes,
it's growing. Like the need for 2 meetings is growing because the city's growing, and there's more planning matters, and there's more things going on that are important, and a bigger budget to deal with all the time. So you can't run it like it was like 12 years ago when the ringmaster started being mayor. You've got to run it to what's happening today, and there's just so much going on. It's hard to get through the meetings.
Yeah, we're no longer this provincial little city on the outskirts. We've got way more people, way more concerns. To have, I I would go with your suggestion too. They're doing this piecemeal. They're going for one every 3 weeks. Pretty soon it should be twice a month.
Yep, it's going to have to be.
Yeah,
one every 2 weeks
with the load that council has to deal with and what staff has brought up before them. They can't do that.
And the load we have to deal with.
That's right.
We got to go through this stuff too.
That's right. We want a shorter show.
We want a shorter show. We want to be able to get through this in an hour. So there you go. It affects us too. So don't think you're the only ones there, City Council. And we got to watch it.
Should we have a petition of 2 and go down there?
Yeah, we can't
demanding a shorter show.
They're going to ban signs. We can't bring signs and everything. But yeah. So anyway, 3 more is better than no more or less. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Mike Strange came up and he said that he wants to find ways, have staff look at ways to shorten meetings. And since that time, he stood up and made that motion. I haven't seen a word about it. So
I don't know why he hasn't come up with suggestions. It was his idea, and he has not come up with one suggestion.
I've come up with lots.
Yeah, and
nobody listens to me, but
it was his idea to trim the fat, and then he just sort of dumped. Well, somebody else can do it. No, it's your idea. Come up with some ideas.
Yeah, well, I got lots of ideas. If he wants to have a meeting with me, come on the show and we'll talk about it, Mike. 8.4.
Don't bring the dartboard.
Yeah, leave your boxing gloves. I don't want to get a shot from Mike, man. He knocked me out in 2 seconds. He's the champ. COM 2024-01 Strategic Plan Update created 2023, guiding the city for decision making and investments. So this report is going to be received. It's an update on the strategic plan and some strategies and what's going on. You can read it if you want. I mean, it's just a regular mumbo jumbo that I saw.
It's just the one where they're saying, "Oh, we're going to add a couple more pages," and yet they don't present the pages, and they say they're on the city website. I went to look for it. I didn't see it.
Yeah, NiagaraFalls.ca. I don't know, but I mean, this is just
they're going to add a couple of
plan. I mean,
yeah, but they say they're going to add a couple of pages to the strategic plan. Well, where are they? What does it mean? What does it say?
And they also say they're going to stick to the strategic plan, and sometimes they don't. So yeah, but it's there anyway as a guideline for everybody. Here's what we want to do. At least they have some kind of a path. It probably costs $100,000 to make it, but what are you going to do? C'est la vie, mon ami. 8.5. Corporation of City Niagara Falls draft audited consolidated financial statements for 2022. You can go down to the Niagara Falls.ca agenda and look at the agenda we're looking at, and you can go through this 50 or so pages or whatever it is. And good luck, because you have to be a Philadelphia lawyer to figure it out. I looked through it, and I did take away some things from it though. And page 23 was the one that I looked at, and I stopped at and started looking at. And I always ask, where did the casino money go? They underestimated revenue by $5 million in 2022, by about $8 million in 2023, and about $8 million this year. So there's 8, 16, $21 million bucks that they underestimated the revenue. And the reason this is bad, ladies and gentlemen, is when they underestimate any revenue, they base their need for money to pay all the bills on their estimates. And if they underestimate it, then that means we have to get our taxes raised to make up the difference. But if they added in another 20 million, we may not have to have our taxes raised. So this is not good, underestimating it. And you always want to know, like, where's the money? Show me the money. Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Yeah,
why are our taxes going up when we have this money left over?
Well, the one thing I pulled out right from the very beginning, it says the city's auditors, Crawford, Smith and Swallow, have completed the audit of the financial statements. But this is not a forensic audit. No. This is an ordinary audit. And it must be put out there that all they do is make sure that everything that's said, that the money that is said spent, there's a receipt for it. They can't follow that up. They can't follow up whether or not those things have been actually. All they can tell you is there was a balance in the books. They can't tell you if the money's been spent well, or if it's being spent properly, or if there's been any corruption involved. They can't do that. All they can do is say the money coming in equals the money going out. They can't figure out the stuff in between. As you remember, Salsi wanted a forensic audit.
Yes.
But it didn't happen. One thing, forensic audits are very expensive. Very, very expensive.
Yeah, you're probably looking today at least $500,000, probably, maybe more.
Yeah.
For a city this size now.
So it's very important when they talk about recommendations and they talked about an auditor. It sounds really good that an auditor's looked at the books. But this kind of audit cannot tell you much. It can only tell you that it sees what goes in and what goes out. Yeah. That if they equal, that's all they can see.
Think of H&R Block doing your taxes, but on a much bigger scale.
Yes.
Basically, right? They look at your thing, here's your receipts, here's your deductions, DB, everything looks good. But anyway, I just always look at that casino revenue because we get so much, and I can never account for it where it goes. And they say it goes into reserves. If they don't spend it, they put it away. But we never see that money. It goes. It's like a Copperfield down there on City Council. Look at it. We got an elephant in City Council chambers. Watch this. Oh, it's gone. Where'd it go?
And then they say, "What elephant?
How did that work?
What elephant? You saw an elephant? We didn't see an elephant."
But they're really good at making money disappear. They're up there with the best of them. Greg Fruin has nothing on City Council, believe me. Okay, I got to get to my second sponsor, Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. Now, you've ever been through a neighborhood at night and you see these nice houses lit up? That's Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. They're the leaders in permanent track lighting. They come down to your house. They put in this track lighting you don't see in the daytime. At night, it really shines, no pun intended. And that's when you see it. They're all put up in tracks and they're put up in zones so you can control each zone on your phone. And that rhymes. Hey, you want green and red for Christmas? You just one zone red, one zone green, one zone red, one zone green. Just like that. That's how easy it is. St. Patrick's Day all green, Halloween all orange, orange and white, whatever you want. You can adjust it to a million different colors. And every one of those track lighting, when they're connected, they're all soldered and sealed against dust and moisture. So you never have to worry about them. As a matter of fact, they're so worry-free that they offer a lifetime warranty on their product. That's Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. How do you get them? You call up Colin Buckborough at 289-969-1797, and he will come to your house, give you a free estimate. And if you really want to Griswold your house, they have financing on approved credit. So you can do it whichever way you want. Either way, that's how you make your house more valuable and you make it beautiful at night so your neighbors are jealous of you. Hamilton Glowstone Lighting. You can go to their website and see their work, glowstonelighting.com. Just like it sounds, glowstonelighting.com. And you'll be able to see a gallery of their work. Once again, Colin Buckborough is the owner. Give him a call at 289-969-1797. Thank you for supporting our sponsors. And we move on to item 8.6, Cafe at the McBain Center. They're looking to find an operator.
Well, they got three different options there.
Yeah.
You know, they want the city either to take it over, and that seems to be a good plan, according to some, because they did a good job at the Coronation Center, apparently, Cafe. The other option, of course, is to find somebody to take it over again. They've had four owners since 2005, and I think I forget how much it cost them, $8,755 per year. So they're looking for a request for proposal to see what they can do about attracting another vendor in there. And of course, the option 3 is to convert it over to office space and other usable space, which would cost money. It would have to rely on realignment of assets.
Yeah, I kind of like the cafe though. People go in there, they go to the gym, go to the pool net, and they go to events. And there's a nice coffee shop there. I mean, you look at the one even at the hospital at Tim Hortons. It does a tremendous business, right? When people are places like that, they like to grab a coffee. So I think it's a great idea to have it run. And if you want to find somebody to operate it, hey, you got a $700,000 innovation hub there. Get one of those chamokes to find somebody to run it. I'm sure there's business people that want to get into the business and have a coffee there and run it. Yeah.
Yeah, and let's face it, there's nothing better than going for a swim and a run and some exercise and then ruining it all by eating a big Danish.
Oh, I love that. I wouldn't even do the rest. I just eat the Danish, have a coffee, and get out of there.
Yeah. Why all that in between stuff? Yeah, that's
why ruin a good day? Okay, 8.7 community improvement plan. Does anyone ever ask what we need this for and what we spend money and time on it for? I don't get it. There are so many conditions from the region and provinces on how to improve. The what do I got my notes here? I already made notes about community. Why does this plan actually do for the city other than waste money? Someone please ask that question and say, why do we have this? Why do we have this at all?
I don't know. And I mean, it's pretty vague. The priority areas are 1, affordable housing. Duh. 2, economic prosperity generation. Duh. Because if the number 2 was looked after, you probably wouldn't have to worry about number 1. 3, environmental sustainability. They ain't doing that already, right?
No.
And intensification. Rest Victor.
Yeah, so I don't understand this at all. This whole thing, community improvement plan review. Anyway, council directs staff to send a copy of this report to the region of Niagara. I don't get it. If somebody, when we watch it tonight, maybe it'll be made more clear to us exactly why we have this. Because I don't get it. These are things that we do anyway, and they're mandated by the province and the region. Well, why do we need a draft community improvement plan?
Well, maybe the region demands it. I don't know. I couldn't speak that out. Yeah.
Good thinking. Maybe we have to have one. Maybe the province even says we have to have one. Huh. Well, we'll find out tonight. Item 8.7, that was. Check it out. I'm going to be looking for that tonight. If they can get there before 9, because at 9 o'clock, I don't care what they're doing in the city council, that TV is going to the presidential debate.
Oh yeah, that's going to be fun tonight.
Yeah. And I'm not going to miss that to watch city council. I'll follow up tomorrow, but if they can get to it before 9, I'll watch it live.
I'm bumming they turned out they were going to mute the mics because I just wanted Trump to be able to speak when he wanted to speak. Oh, right? It would be an advantage to him, I think.
Well, I think you're going to see. Well, we shouldn't even be talking.
Makes it more entertaining.
We're getting off topic. I'm going to be talking about it on Thursday. I'll talk about that after I see it tonight. But anyway, hope they get there before 8.7, before 9, and then I'll be able to see it live. If not, I'll watch it on the recording. 8.8 capital project closing and adjustment report as of August 31st, 2024. My notes, Dave, is this basically is an anticipated cost versus actual cost spreadsheet, and it appears the city is approximately $3.2 million to the good. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah, it appears as if they're reallocating assets, and they found that some assets, the planned assets, came in under budget. A few came in over budget, and the ones that were over budget were better than the under budget. So you got a little bit of plus there, but I'm not sure if that's exactly what it says. I do see that they've done something here. They've taken a $700,000 debenture financing and switched and replaced it with $200,000 of OLG. Now the debenture financing thing is unsecured, so it costs a lot of interest. So maybe it's a good idea, but there's a loss of $500,000 though. So I don't know what happened to that.
Well, see, this is always my thing. They overestimated. This is what I was talking about before. They overestimated projects. Now they come in with spending less, but yet we've been charged on our taxes for this money that they thought they were going to spend and they didn't. So why isn't this money given back to taxpayers in the taxes next year? Why don't we see that back? If they overestimate stuff, I mean, they could overestimate everything by $30 million and then base the mill rate on how much deficit that we're going to have when we actually don't have one. It's just because they're jimmying the numbers on us. So I hope somebody asks about that. Why we have $3 million left over, and you know what? I guess on a $177 million budget and a capital budget of around 70 or 80 or 90 million or whatever it is, that they're going to be on the safe side for projects, so they don't run under. They don't want to run under. They don't want to run under. That's for sure. They don't want to underestimate, but they don't want to overestimate too much neither. It's like your taxes, right? If you could break even at the end of the year, they took enough from your paycheck that paid all your taxes. You don't get anything back, but you've had that money to use all year. That would be the best way to do it. You could be right on. But with projects going and escalating costs, it's probably a little tougher. But there's 3 million to the good now. It looks like to me. And somebody, hey, listen, you can correct me if you like. I just read these things and try to figure them out myself. I'm not an accountant, and I'm by no means a math genius. I just add 2 and 2 and use common sense.
Well, this spells it out. It says 42 projects have surplus funding, contributed to a total of $3,769,000 reserves and reserve funds.
Yeah.
These projects are also reducing commitments on other funding sources by $778,000. 20 projects require additional funding to facilitate closure, requiring $574,000 funding reserve. Of course, this is a reduction of $1,400 basically. And 9 projects do not require funding transfers of all kinds. And so the net impact of the 71 projects recommended for closure amounts to a reserve transfers of $3,220,000.
Yeah, that's extra money they had they didn't spend.
And a reduction in budgeted commitments by almost the same.
Okay, good. So anyway, money left over. Let's see what they do with it. Keep your eyes on these guys. These are, remember, they're Copperfields down there.
That's right.
They're excellent. Here. Oh, where'd it go? I don't know.
What
Nothing
elephant?
up my sleeves.
You telling me you saw an elephant here? What elephant?
It's gone. They made it disappear. Yeah. It's right across the street, that big meteor crater.
Well, the problem is, the elephant could be there, and they'll deny seeing it.
The emperor's new clothes. Oh, no, yeah, you got beautiful clothes and the guy's naked. 9, consent agenda. We're moving through this. 9.1, cancellation reduction of refund of taxes under Section 357, 358 of the Municipal Act. Well, sometimes people sell their house and they've paid their taxes already. They get a refund. There's just different reasons that people need refunds on their taxes, and this is where it comes into play. And this is where they declare it and show you exactly what's going on. And that's that. That's how simple that is. So you can read the list if you want. It gives the names of people who are getting rebates, and you'll see it's a lot of people who probably sold their house and they paid their taxes and they got to get them back now because somebody else is going to pay it. They sold. That kind of thing.
Sometimes they assess wrongly too.
Yeah, they assess wrongly, or somebody put in for an assessment. They said they were assessed wrongly, and they go and assess it again and say, "Oh, geez, you paid $1,000 too much." Well, this is where they get their check back. Okay, Q2 parking fund budget to actual variances 9.2. We're up 110 grand, which is impressive considering April, May, and June. That's Q2. Are really not that busy in the city, but the eclipse and the Easter holiday probably put them over the budget. The outlook should be better as we enter the prime time for tourism in the city, and that's Q3, July, August, and September.
Yes. Well, that's a little bit well to wait, but of course, and they've promised it's going to get better, so it will, won't it?
I think it will, and I think Mayor Jim he wants to do this dynamic pricing where they have certain ways to raise it, supply and demand type of thing, right? The parking lots get full and there's fewer spaces. They charge more for the spaces left. During a weekend when it's really busy, it costs more to park than not. Like, at the Eclipse, they were charging $100 to park for the day. So, so dynamic pricing is the way Jim wants to go. Mayor Jim wants to go, and this is going to generate more revenue. So,
that's I don't know. We are here in town. We're guaranteed a certain amount of people every year, but we turn off people from a second visit or third visit when we do the stuff like that.
Yeah.
They'll come once. Okay, it was really expensive. I'd like to go again, but it's way too expensive, and I got beat up bad and I'm parking.
Well, if you listened to my show yesterday, I talked about that.
Yeah?
Yeah. About the tacky tourist town and rip-off.
Yeah.
Tourist trap and everything else.
That's right. I did listen to your show yesterday.
And some marketing people are saying, well, we should really exploit the honky-tonk. Like, this is a honky-tonk town. Come on and have a good time. It's a fun time down here. And Janice Thompson of the Niagara Tourist Development Agency, or whatever it's called, says, no. We want to look like, we're real professional. We have really good attractions, not just these honky-tonk things.
No, no self-deprecation for us. No self-deprecation humor.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, well, you know what? I mean, we do have a lot of great attractions. I mean, number one being the falls and everything. So, and then butterfly conservatories, art galleries. We have just the historic value of this area, the War of 1812 and Lundy's Lane and Battlefield and everything else.
Yeah, by defeating the Americans, chasing them back in 1814, that made Canada. It would otherwise not be done. Jefferson said they conquered Canada as a matter of just marching there. Well, anyway, that's a long story, but they came into Canada and they started burning stuff, and people rose up against them and pushed them back. And that was probably the real birth of Canada there.
Yeah.
At that time, because the U.S. would have and should have taken over this area, but they were capable of it, and that was the beginning of Canada.
There you go. So we have a lot of historical stuff around here. So we have a lot of outside of the honky tonk, Clifton Hill, and these amusement rides. Now we have a lot of good stuff too. I got to get to my third sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. Are you looking for a great pizza tonight? Well, give Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue a call. Using an old Italian family recipe, Pete's uses only the freshest ingredients to create their fantastic pizzas. And I've had one. It's darn good. By Victoria, Pete's. But they don't stop just at the pizza, though. They have poutine. They have subs. They have panzerotti. They have weekly specials and combos. Pizza and wing specials all the time. You can't miss out when you go there. Right now, they're celebrating their 40th anniversary by offering 2 medium pizzas with 3 items for $25 plus tax.
Yeah, but they don't have an anchovy-only pizza. You can only get them at Welland.
Yeah, well, anchovy only, that's a tough one.
Yeah. That's not too much demand here in town.
An anchovy-only pizza. They have dozens of toppings. They might even have anchovies. I never looked through all their things, but if they do, you can tell them.
Well, I remember that place. Yeah, I remember that place for a very long time. I used to be one of my, when I lived downtown, it used to be one of my places to go.
Yeah, it's run by it was owned. The franchise was started by the Mancini family. I think they lived in St. Catharines or Thorold, and they have 3 or 4 different locations by franchisees. And Victoria Avenue Pizza is run by a guy named Mike, and it's pretty darn good. It's pretty darn good. They have extended hours, midnight on Sunday to Thursdays, and they close at 2:00 Friday and Saturday. So if you need a late night snack pizza, you know where to go. They're open, and there's not a lot of stuff that's open that time of night till 2 a.m. But this 40th anniversary special runs to the end of the year. So if you want to take advantage of it, 2 pizzas for $25 with 3 toppings on each. Can't beat it. I'm going to get 2 and freeze one, and I always have one there to work with.
I'm going to get anchovy-only pizza so I can serve it to people I don't like when they come over. You want pizza? Here you go.
You might find somebody who likes that.
Yeah, well,
we used to get one that was anchovy, the cup and char, and hot peppers. That was
nice.
Excellent. Anyway, just call 905-374-2222 to order, or order online at pizzavictoria.ca to place your order. Your pizzas await you. Tell them Paul from Your City Your Voice sent you. Okay, now we move on to item 9.3, Grand Niagara Development Sewer Allocation. And if you have been listening to the show, you'll know that months ago, they were talking about cost sharing with a developer that wanted to develop in the Grand Niagara development, but we had to get services out to there for them. So they were willing to split the cost of those services, and we're seeing this come back right now to further engage with the Grand Niagara Development Group for the purpose of entering into a sewer allocation agreement. So
yeah, they got quite a development on the way.
Yep.
Some anywhere from 3,500 to 5,500 homes. Yeah.
That's a pretty big development.
Yeah.
So that's what that's all about. That item 9.3, I think.
And they're trying to extend the Grassy Narrows pumping station, I guess, and that kind of thing. If you read the paper today, all of our water infrastructures in terrible shape. Our water delivery systems are three of them are over 100 years old. Sewage systems, not one of them's under 50 years old. So this may be a part of that, to refurbish that pumping station and get it to last long enough until the new one is built.
Yeah, and I think what they're doing is they have to extend the sewers out to this Grand Niagara, and they're saying, "Yeah, we'll do it, but we want you to pay half." I think they're looking for the developer to pay half it, and then they got him to do it. I believe that was the whole idea. Because it didn't go out far enough, right? And so I'm going, great. We have to spend. We got to spend a few $1 million on it, but they're picking up half of it too, right? Their half is $2 million too, so we don't have to pay the whole thing, and I think that's a good bargain because eventually we'd have to get the infrastructure out to there anyway, and if they're willing to fast track it for their development, then away we go. There's Gary Wilkins right there.
There's the green bastard parts on.
Make wheels great again.
Oh, is he brought his mask out?
He probably did. I wouldn't doubt it. But okay, on to the communications of comments of city clerk. Noise bylaw exemption request. They're having a backyard wedding. 10.1 is the item number. And they want them to approve a noise exemption on Friday, September 13th. Friday the 13th, the guy's getting married.
Until no longer than 11 o'clock. What?
Friday the 13th, the guy's getting married.
Oh, definitely from a different culture.
That guy's got balls. He's going to miss Port Dover. Are you kidding me? And I wasn't talking about him getting married. I was talking about missing Port Dover.
Oh, I was at Port Dover once on the 13th.
Number 10.2, proclamation request. Oh, that'll be okay, that exemption for the noise bylaw. Act attaches request for council to approve a proclamation ceremony on Wednesday to recognize Pitt-Hopkins Syndrome Awareness Day. They'll say yes to it. I have no idea what Pitt-Hopkins syndrome is.
It's no, but it's I wonder if it's
but they'll okay.
There's Hodgkin's syndrome. I don't know.
I don't know. You'll have to look it up, folks.
Yeah,
but whatever it is, they'll okay it. It's a syndrome, so it's got to be some kind of a debilitating disease.
Yeah, or condition, because it doesn't necessarily have to be disease. It's some sort of condition. Maybe like Tourette syndrome or something.
Oh, it could be.
Yeah,
it could be something like that. Sorry, we didn't look it up. I don't even know what it is, but they'll okay it anyway. So, Pitt-Hopkins people, you're going to get your time. 11, communications and comments of the city clerk. Recommendation that they receive these items 11 through 1 through 5. 11.5, we'll go through them. 11.1 is a Niagara Escarpment Commission short-term accommodation. And that was an interesting letter. Basically, the Airbnb type of short-term rentals on the Niagara Escarpment Commission regulated land. They've approved short-term rentals on that land being okay for buildings on these lands. I don't believe there's a concern where
I think they're backtracking
the
on
city
that.
bylaws are going to deal with it anyway.
Okay. I don't think they're. I think there's someplace in there where there's been an abuse of that, and they've brought that up.
Yeah. Well, the city bylaw that we have in town will supersede that anyway. I mean, they can rent them out. That's fine. The Niagara Escarpment Commission says that's okay. But at the end of the day, if they don't adhere to our bylaws, like in Calogero Estates, you want to rent out an Airbnb? No. Any residential neighborhood? No. They got to be designated land. So right away, they'll be crushed by the city bylaw, even before the Escarpment Commission, whether they say yes or no, right? So, so that's a good thing. But the Escarpment said, yeah, you can, if you can get away with it, you can do it. Every city has their own rules about Airbnbs, by the way. Ours are only in tourist areas, and that's it. Resolution, City of Quinte West. And basically, they're looking for more money from the feds for infrastructure because of this build housing faster thing that they came up with, and to get more homes built in that in cities around throughout Canada. So they're saying that's fine, but now we're being placed under pressure to come up with the money for all the infrastructure for this. And nobody's helping us. So we want you to double what you're giving us now. That's what that letter's all about.
Yeah, pretty much. They're saying, look, thanks very much, but it's not enough.
Yeah, exactly. And I agree with them.
Well, sure.
They put some major demands on a lot of places in Canada for more housing, and that's fine. But you still have to have the money.
Yeah, who's going to pay for it?
Well, that's why they're
And
asking.
the feds, the province are saying, build more houses right now, real quick. And everybody's saying, well, we need sewers, we need water lines, we need electrical services. Can't do it that fast.
Help.
Yeah.
Help me. That's basically what it is, a cry for help. I'm just looking at the things. Everything's working fine here. 11.3, resolution, City of Brantford. Amendments to improve municipal codes of conduct and enforcement. Well, yeah, that's for city councils and stuff like that, or the public being in the gallery. And
it seems to be a sign of the times too. The rudeness and ignorance seems to be more and more tolerated. And then when it finally gets to a point where, oh, that's it, back to basics.
Yeah, back to basics. And they are. I mean, it's funny. I was at the casino yesterday, and the guards there, the security there, right? They were talking about having wearing flak jackets, bulletproof vests,
Jeez.
To prevent them from getting stabbed or shot, right?
God.
And
that's the world we live
I'm
in?
saying, you know what? I don't blame you, because there's too many wackos around now. There's people stabbing each other, and there's people shooting each other. Hey, they got a guy in Beaver Dams Road making bombs. This Lebanese Syrian.
Oh, geez.
And so, like, at the end of the day, you don't know. There's too many wackos out there today. And if I was any kind of security, I would definitely be wearing a flak jacket, and I want to carry a gun. I want to be trained to carry a firearm these days, because you don't know.
Well, the problem is when people come in and shoot the place up, they're also wearing a flak jacket. Take, for example, that young man that shot up Tops over there.
Yeah.
Well, the security guard was there, and he emptied his revolver at the kid, and no effect, because the kid had a flak jacket on, and he killed the security guard.
Yeah, shoot him in the head.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty hard to do that. When you're trained on firearms, you're trained at the largest target, which is the torso.
Well, then you better be wearing a flak jacket yourself.
Well, I'm afraid that they are going to be wearing flak jackets. Well, the LCBO security guards are wearing flak jackets, but no gun, of course. But they're wearing a flak jacket.
Well, you think about it. I mean, people go to the casino and they lose a lot of money. They're disgruntled, and if they want to come back and do something, whether it's stab somebody, shoot somebody, or blow the place up, you can't say these days it won't happen. Not in Niagara Falls. That's what every little town that has these shootings says. Like some guy perched on a little ridge over I-75 shooting at cars, killing people. You can't say it's not going to happen. We live in a very dangerous world filled with strife, filled with people who hate each other, filled with different nationalities, and filled with crazy people who do this kind of stuff. So you can't just pass it off and say, oh, it's not going to happen. You got to protect yourself these days. And I'm glad they're getting them there, because really it's pretty quiet at the casino. There's not a lot of older people and stuff like that, but there's always that possibility somebody goes crazy.
Yeah, unfortunately, we see that in the school lately in the States. Another school shooting, some kid whose father thought, they don't. That my son's old enough to have a gun,
have an AR-15. Yeah. So he got arrested too. He's in jail right now.
I hope he rots in jail.
Yeah, and you know what? The thing is that at this stage of the game here, these guys like to attack soft targets. So when you walk into a public place and you see the security guards unarmed with no protection, that's a soft target.
There's nothing but soft targets. That's the thing.
That's right.
You can shoot anybody on the street. You can go to a baseball game and open up. You can go to a football game and open up.
Well, they have metal detectors and that to get in. So at least they're.
Look, I was just at the Buffalo, the Hamilton, Hamilton Stadium. Somebody from the outside with the new firearms could shoot into that crowd from outside and do a hell of a lot of damage.
Oh yeah,
and if they had sniper skills, they could pick up.
Why are we talking about this at a city council meeting?
I don't know.
I don't know. We gotta move on.
I don't know how we developed that,
but interesting.
Well, we stay on topic here.
11.4, the attached correspondence from City of St. Catharines regarding the request for extensions in Niagara Region incentive programs, extensions of development charges, and reductions program to 2027. So they're dropping development charges to encourage development, and they want to extend that to 2027 rather than it end right now when it was supposed to end. So that's basically what it's going to be. Council's going to receive it and file it. That's all.
It was the casino guards that got us there.
Yeah. Resolution, City of Welland, 11.5. Welland City Council passed the attached motion on September 3rd, and it was to endorse the Solve the Crisis project regarding homelessness and mental health. There was a report done, and they've adopted it, and it's from a group called the Solve the Crisis Group, and they have ideas of how to solve homelessness and that, and they've adopted it, and they wanted to let us know they've adopted it and encourage us to adopt it too.
One more plan, a long line of plans.
Yep.
I hope one of them works sooner or later.
Yeah. 12 was ratification of in-camera. So they had the in-camera meeting. Now they ratified what they were talking about.
Basically, let's ratify the camera meeting, but don't tell anybody we've talked about that.
Yeah, exactly. Motion wedding ceremony enhancements. That's 14.1. Basically, Mayor Jim wants to raise the price of getting married at City Hall because it's too low. And I agree with him. It is low compared to a lot of other charges in other places. So they're going to raise that. There's a motion to raise that, and that'll be okayed. And also, they want to enhance the wedding services, and they want somebody to do it in a range of capital investment options to enhance wedding services back to council during the budget process. So we're going to make money. We're going to spend money to make money. That's the way Jimmy figures it. Number 15, bylaws. And these are just items that have been discussed and passed before, but what they're doing now is just ratifying them. And it's about land, and it's about close part of a highway, parking, land, all the stuff that goes along with running a city. And they've already been talked about and approved in former meetings, past meetings. So this is just to get them okayed once and for all. Parking, stop signs, appoint city employees as agent of third parties for the enforcement of bylaws. That's every time. And then the last one is the bylaw to adopt, ratify, and confirm the actions of City Council at its meeting held the 10th of September. That's today. So they're going to say okay to that. And then Mayor Jim is going to take out the big ringmaster gong, hit it, and Wayne Thompson will vote to adjourn it because by that time he's finished anyway. And then somebody will second it. That'll be the end of the meeting at around 9 o'clock, 9:30. Hopefully they can get out of there in 5.5 hours, but it depends on how many grandstands there are. It depends on how much they want to discuss these planning matters that have already come before them and other small little matters. I always find they find minutiae, things that you really don't have to discuss, getting discussed.
Like flak jackets?
Yeah, like us. Yeah, like us. And ours is only an hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, imagine what we could do at council.
Yeah, forget about that. You don't need to read that. Throw it away.
Yeah.
But anyway, at the end of the day, that's what they're going to talk about. That's what we're going to be doing. And yeah, that's it. That's all. It's over for another city council meeting. Anything else to add, Davey boy?
No, not much. Not much. I don't have much to add right now, except someone's trying to get in here.
Well, that's too bad.
The door's locked. This is next.
That's why we locked the door, so you don't have vagabonds.
Can we make faces at her? She's smiling nicely.
Yeah, well, she knows who we are.
Oh, okay.
That's Elizabeth, Liz, somebody. Can't remember her last name.
Oh, her.
She was working with Tony Caruso on his campaign. And then, so she probably just wants to come on and talk about different things with us or say hello or whatever. So anyway, we got to end this. So let's get out of here, Davey boy. My name is
it's the green bastard.
Yeah, there he is. He's here too. See, everybody comes down to the station to see us when Wheels is here. Otherwise, I don't see anybody. Anyway, my name is Paul Caleb. This is Dave Wheeler. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls in the studios, awesome studios, 4680Q Radio. Don't forget to support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Hamilton Glowstone Lighting, and Victoria Avenue Pete's Pizza. Support them. They support the show. Thank you very much. Go to YouTube. This will be on YouTube later. You can watch it on YouTube, listen to it live, of course. And also give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification button. So when I do another one of these, you know when I'm going on. It's every day of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. When tomorrow is Habsolutely, where we talk all Habs all show. See you then. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of this beautiful day out there in Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. Bye-bye.
Bye.